Darling Harbour, it's become the playground of the wealthy, and good luck to them, eh? What beautiful boats down there, and such a lovely spot to be. I think they just opened the Piedmont Bridge for the first time I've seen in ever to let one of those tall ones in. It was the 1987 Hollywood Wall Street character Gordon Gekko who coined the phrase "greed is, for want of a better word, good," and made the point that in a sense greed encapsulates the most powerful evolutionary drive, and is one of those things that propels humanity to its fullest kind of expression, I suppose. Now, it's interesting because I think that really does capture something of the spirit of the age, certainly of the 80s, but really something of the spirit of the Western world. Greed is good. We, in our capitalist system, rely on it, and the kind of insatiable appetites that continue to drive behaviours and keep industries growing and things developing and so forth. And so you could describe greed as good, but Jesus doesn't. He says beware of all forms of greed, and it's a very different point of view. If you just check in Luke chapter 12 verses 13 to 21, Luke chapter 12 verses 13 to 21, he even tells a story about somebody who really does quite well. I mean, as far as capitalism goes, I don't really want to have a go at that system above any other system because it's the best system we've got. He talks about somebody who's very, very focused on doing well for themselves and consolidating those gains and making their own life really comfortable. And Jesus' commentary on that is, it's not actually the best investment. He made some investments, he pulled down barns and made bigger ones, but just as he's getting to the point where he thought he was going to enjoy all that wealth and the ease that would bring to his life, the story goes, his life was required of him. That is, he died. He stood before God, and as a consequence of his behaviour up until that point, he was not someone who was wealthy in the eyes of God, who'd done anything that was particularly worth preserving in the broader sense. I imagine his wealth just went to a whole bunch of other greedy people, for that matter. So Jesus warns about greed and says that it is something that we should beware of, all forms of it. And why does he do that? I think because there's a fundamental deception in the notion that gathering a lot of stuff unto yourself will somehow satisfy you, because all the evidence is in on that, and it does not. I mean, you can look in rich societies or poor societies or anything in between, and the thing that indicates that a people are happy and fulfilled or satisfied is not how much they have. It has everything to do with the nature of their relationships, and whilst you need a certain amount to survive, food-wise and shelter-wise and all that kind of thing, and while we like to have something helpful to be engaged in that makes a contribution to our society, so to have employment that's worthwhile, what you own, what you amass for yourself, is not one of the things that leads to a deeply satisfying life. And it's so self-absorbed. And Jesus wants us to be wary of that so that we don't get deceived, that we don't actually believe something that's fundamentally untrue and demonstrably untrue, because greed is really just another flip side of fear, the fear of missing out, the fear of people getting more than you, the fear that you will somehow be left behind or something like that. So we're going to talk about that at the Mustard Seed this coming Sunday, and we're going to share communion together. Ask Rev Robin Davies, who does such a beautiful job leading us through the liturgy of communion. She's going to lead us one more time. No, many more times. It's a great thing that she continues in her leadership in that way, and we're very grateful. And we'd love you to join with us. We're going to get our bread rolls from Shady and Rose at Peoik and break bread together. The most simple of all meals. A loaf of bread, a glass of wine. The simple things. Please come and join us. Come and join not just in the liturgy of the communion, but in the holiness of coming together and knowing that we are one as the body of Christ. There really is nothing better, and we're so privileged both to enjoy that and to offer it to others. Look forward to seeing you as part of it. God bless.